Hey guys, so it seems like you all enjoyed the last video, so I'm gonna be making another review video. This time I'll be talking about the Flash movie and how I felt about it. Spoilers ahead if you haven't watched this movie, and with that being said, let's get on to the video. To start this off, I want to say that while everyone talks about how bad this movie was, I feel like this movie was good. Until I remembered this was supposed to be a Flashpoint film. If you've never read the comics or watched the animated movie about this, Flashpoint is all about Barry Allen going back in time to prevent the death of his mother Nora Allen, and as a result, the entire DC universe gets changed. Now, I'm not saying that this movie should have been identical to the comics nor the animated movie, but the film does change some stuff that, to me, felt a bit off to see. For starters, the removal of Eeyore Thawne, the Reverse Flash, didn't make much sense to me. He's an important character that's connected to Barry Allen in a way that other heroes don't have with their arch nemesis. He's intertwined his life with Barry's to the point that neither can exist without the other. So to not see him in the first ever Flash film felt off. And having a version of himself that turns evil as the main villain of the movie sounds a bit similar to a certain someone. I mean, you can see the inspiration, right? They also could have had Eeyore Thawne in this movie, even with it being a soft reboot. The comics treated Flashpoint as a reboot, and not only was Eeyore Thawne heavily involved in the story, he came back and became an even better villain in the comics. This movie could have set the Flash character up with the Reverse Flash moving forward, no matter who would be the next actor, because we all know it ain't gonna be Ezra Miller. Another change I didn't like is how we don't get to see Bruce's father, Thomas Wayne, in this film. This might just be the nerd in me wanting to see him because of how different his Batman is from when Bruce is Batman, but I feel as if there could have been a better story told if Michael Keaton was Bruce's father instead of an older version of his Bruce. I get that Warner Brothers did this since they want to add the nostalgic factor that every multiverse film has, but the CW Flash did this and I'd say it worked pretty well for them, so they could have done the same in this film. They could have had Thomas and Barry develop a sort of father-son relationship. Not a deep one, but something to show how Bruce's absence really did affect Thomas Wayne. We also could have delved deeper into this Barry's trauma of losing his mom and dad at the same time and at such a young age, and it could have opened a lot of doors for this character during the film and potentially afterwards. While we're on the topic, I want to say I hate the idea of recasting Bruce and giving it to George Clooney. I don't get the idea behind this when you could have opened the door for someone younger to become Bruce, or to bring in Robert Pattinson into the DCU. Although thinking about it, I probably would be against that. I just don't get the idea behind this decision. You could have stuck with Ben Affleck since his Batman isn't that young, but also isn't so old that his days on the battlefield are basically over. This was just something that rubbed me off the wrong way, and I wanted to mention that in my review on this film. But I've been pretty negative so far about a film that I say in the very beginning to be good, so now we'll discuss about the things that I personally liked about this film. One thing that they did change that I personally actually liked was having Kara Zor-El in this film instead of Clark Kent. She was a great addition to the film, and the actress Sasha Calle was incredible in this role. All of her scenes were very enjoyable to watch, and she was definitely a bright spot in this film, which there really isn't much of. I really do hope that the DCU does keep her around because there is a lot of potential with this character, and I think that the actress Sasha Calle did such an incredible role. I just want to see her in more. Another thing I liked was how this movie, even with all of its flaws, which there's a lot, even down to CGI, which I would rant about if it weren't for the fact that everyone and their mothers have already ranted about this so many times. Even with all of that, it was still able to at least be enjoyable for me. I swear, it almost feels like everyone who worked on this film knew how this movie was going to be reviewed, so they instead made so many CGI mistakes that people would just laugh at how bad it looks instead of talking about how the movie was. And even though I don't agree with everything that they did in this movie, I still was able to enjoy the film, and with all of the chaos that this movie had to go through behind the scenes, I almost admire the fact that this movie was still able to entertain me. But overall, I give this movie a 6 out of 10. It isn't a great movie, but it's still good enough that if a friend asked me if they should go watch it, I'd say go for it, if they're prepared to laugh at how bad the CGI looks. A lot of people bash on this film, and while I don't necessarily blame them, I feel as if the movie is a little overhated. I really do mean just a little though. I really do just mean a little. It's still disappointing to see that this is the first ever film with The Flash, who's one of the best superheroes in comics, but it isn't a terrible film. There's some movies that just don't hit their mark on their characters, and at least this movie did hit some marks, and we're able to make some parts of this movie actually emotional. But that's my review on the Flash movie. If you stay this far into the video, then thank you, as that really means a lot to me as I'm trying to build this channel up. I also want to apologize for how long it took to make this video. I wish I was able to get it finished quicker, but I wanted this video to be more enjoyable than my last one, so I really did take as much time as I could on this one, while still not taking too much time that there's just been a big gap between videos. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please click that like button, as that really does tell me what type of videos you guys enjoy, and if you guys still enjoy seeing these types of videos. Comment down below any film or movie you'd like me to review, as I'm open to anything. I only have like a few shows and like movies I have an eye on. I'm even watching a show right now in order to try to review it. But if you all have any movies or shows you want me to review, I'm down to do it. Really, I am. And subscribe and click on that bell button so that you can be notified whenever my next video comes out. And with that all being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Actually, before the video ends, I want to say this. In the description, there's a link to the channel called Revio. That channel is owned by a good friend of mine, and without him letting me use one of his streams as background, it would have taken way longer to finish this video up, so please go check him out. Alright, now I'm done. That's all I needed to say. Now, I hope you all have a great day.